welcome to Wildcat News. Tonight's edition will feature Utah's initiative to bring another professional sports team to the Beehive State.
We'll also take a look at WSU's closure of their very own student health center.
And why student loan forgiveness should be on our radar. So sit back, relax, and we'll tell you all about it when we come back just in a moment.
We start today with a look at national news. Former President Donald Trump is asking the Supreme Court to intervene in the investigation of classified documents found at his Florida estate. A federal appeals court panel just last month rejected a judge's decision to include 100 potentially classified documents in an independent review. Trump's request does not appear to ask the court to revisit part of the original order which blocked access to the documents.
At least 5 people are dead in Ukraine's capital after Russia conducted airstrikes on several major Ukrainian cities. This attack was revenge by Russia for the destruction of the Crimean Bridge, which connects the Crimean Peninsula to the Russian mainland. Damage assessments are still ongoing.
In a historic move, President Joe Biden has announced that he will be pardoning thousands of people federally convicted of marijuana possession. Biden has also announced that he will be working to review and possibly rewrite current federal laws against the offense.
The U.S. national debt has reached an all-time record of $31 trillion. This is $400 billion short of the artificial cap Congress placed on the nation's ability to borrow. Officials are urging the Biden administration to take steps to lessen the debt.
Student debt relief is now available for all who are eligible due to Biden's administrative student loan relief plan. Due to economic challenges caused by the COVID-19 pandemic, Biden's administration debt relief has offered loan repayment on and off. Now that the 3-part plan is back in action, this plan allows one-time debt relief up to $20,000 for those who qualify.
In local news, Weber State's very own Student Health Center will soon close its doors.
Let's take a look at the reasons why the center will no longer be on campus and why students like you should care.
Within the Student Services Center right behind me, there are some amazing resources for students. However, hidden in the back corner of the building, one service is in the process of being cut: the Student Health Center. The Health Center currently provides students access to a combination of primary care and urgent care. They can be seen for rashes or stitches, all for free. With an on-site testing lab and pharmacy, diagnosis and medication are not far away. Right now is a pivotal moment for the center. Due to low usage, the center may be closed and replaced with student care at hospitals. This information has caught the staff at the medical center off guard.
We've been more or less blindsided by this. We have limited information on that, and we're trying our best to get more information, and we are currently doing everything within the power of the clinic and the staff within the clinic to try and save it and keep it open for students.
They're looking at this to provide additional services to the students, better access to care. And I've asked, well, what is it that we don't provide that necessitates us looking off campus to see if we can provide care? And I can't get that question answered. And so we're continuing to ask questions, and we want to be involved in the process.
According to Jeffrey Hurst, the Dean of Students, a full decision on the fate of the Student Health Center is likely to come at the end of spring semester. If you'd like to weigh in on this issue, please contact your student senator. This has been Kyle Housley, Ogden, Utah.
Thank you, Kyle. In other news regarding Weber's campus, Weber State University's newest building finally had its ribbon cutting on Friday. The Norda Engineering Applied Science and Technology building is located on the north side of campus, adjacent from Tracy Hall. The project comes to a conclusion after 2 years of construction.
So this building's the catalyst for going to the next level. Faculty are getting new equipment, new space. The office space is gorgeous.
The Norda building is a real game changer for Weber State. We are trying to produce hundreds, if not thousands, of engineering and computer science students to meet the need in the community.
The new building replaces the Technical Education Building. Norda offers students a 130,000 square foot facility that offers 15 engineering labs, 14 classrooms, and 9 computer labs.
2 candidates for the U.S. House of Representatives, 1st District Utah, went toe-to-toe on stage in the Browning Center on Monday night. Republican incumbent Blake Moore and Democratic challenger Rick Jones debated each other.
Both candidates gave their takes on a range of contentious issues, from gas prices to abortion and healthcare, and to military spending. Let's take a look.
Advance American ideals.
I've developed a real, we've had a successful, productive time back in Washington, particularly in the American Rescue Plan. The $1.9 trillion bill has led to an enormous amount, 40-year high rates of inflation. So
the truth is, a lot of the inflation is due to COVID. Aggressively enforced antitrust. This has tended to create more companies with monopoly power.
What do you think is the best way to alleviate the debt pressure of student loans on students?
is making sure that our higher ed universities and institutions, going even down to our tech and trade centers, focus on jobs, focus on the next level jobs, and making sure that our students are prepared to take on those jobs.
Probably appropriate for the government then to insist that if students need to go heavily into debt, that they maybe take a look at less expensive schools.
Both Jones and Moore will be back on the campaign trail until Election Day on November 8th.
If you're not already, register to vote online at Utah's election website or in person at your local elections office. You can also pick up voter registration form at the county clerk's office or your local library.
No matter what you do or who you support, just get out and vote. While Moore and Jones faced off, a special project by the university featured students actively fact-checking the candidates in real time. Here's Alexandria Bonilla with the story.
I'm here just outside the Digital District at Lamprose Hall, where students are fact-checking and live tweeting the District 1 congressional debate. Representative Blake Moore and candidate Rick Jones are just a few buildings away from here, debating hot topics in Utah's 1st District. Communication and political science students have been preparing for weeks, collecting and compiling resources to ensure smooth fact-checking.
If I can get students in the room to watch that debate, that's fabulous. But even better, like level up, is to get students in a room live fact-checking, which then provides information out to other students. Does that make sense? Like they can track what's going on the signposts, social media pages to see what's happening. So it's kind of multi-level, right? So I've got students who might passively receive the information and get what they need to know to make a decision. I've got students who are doing the fact checking and in that process are getting information that they need to know to make a good decision.
All updates are being sent out via the Signpost Twitter account.
The backbone of our democracy is being able to trust the people that lead us and being able to show, yes, they're telling the truth, helps build that trust.
Teams of students perform various tasks, everything from checking Representative Moore's past voting patterns to checking the format of the tweet itself.
I think that it's important as citizens to be educated on political issues, even if you're not someone that's super into politics, so that you can watch these debates and make sense of kind of what's going on and what these representatives are saying.
It was certainly a good opportunity for students to go through and have a little bit of experience fact-checking people and getting that information out to the public.
Voters can register online at vote.utah.gov until October 28th. Voters can also register in person at any poll location on Election Day. Get your ballots ready for Tuesday, November 8th. I'm Alexandria Bonilla, Weber State University.
Thank you, Alexandria. And speaking of those ballots, Utah has taken on a statewide initiative paired up with She Votes. She Votes is designed to help women get involved in the voting process. In Utah, in 1870, Sarah Young was the first woman to vote under equal suffrage laws. In 1887, women lost that ability to vote due to the Edmunds-Tucker Act. Utah women regained their right to vote in the year 1896. Utah women have made a difference on what political participation should look like. By incorporating this initiative, She Votes will help Utah women with their online voter education resources and webinars. She Votes has a team of community ambassadors that spread across the nation to help women in their engagement in voting. This nonprofit organization hopes to make a difference in women's lives by getting them involved in their community's political decisions and helping them understand the importance of their votes.
There was no shortage of sports action for our Wildcats this week, so let's send it over to Jessica Kroc with our Wildcat Sports Update.
Thanks so much, Jason Winnie. The Wildcats were jam-packed this week, so let's dive right into it. The football team came off its bye week and got a big win over Eastern Washington, 45-21. Quarterback Bronson Barron lit up the defense with 237 passing yards, and the team crushed the Eagles on the ground with 223 rushing yards. The Wildcats will be back this week as they head up to take on Portland State Saturday at 3 p.m. The volleyball team traveled to the Great Northeast in Idaho to take on Eastern Washington and Idaho this week. The Cardiac Cats swept the Eagles 3-0 and took care of the Vandals 3-1. They'll be back home this week with games Thursday and Saturday at 6 against Sacramento State and Portland State. The women's soccer team lost Sunday night in some heartbreaking fashion. Amazing headers by junior Alexis Simpson and sophomore Elena Wildenrat found the back of the net to tie the game in the second half, but Portland State scored minutes later to take the lead and win 3-2. The team will be on the road this Sunday, the 16th, against rival Idaho State in Pocatello. In club sports, the men's hockey team has now won 6 straight games. Last week, they beat the University of Utah 4-1 on Friday night and beat Montana State 3-2 on Saturday night. For more information on when your favorite teams play, visit WeberStateSports.com.
Frozen Fury took place down in Salt Lake City. We caught up with the fans at the game to find out more.
For the 4th straight year, Vivint Arena in Salt Lake City has hosted a preseason match for the NHL. The Frozen Fury has drawn crowds over 10,000 each of the last 2 years. Utah sports fans have been holding out hope for a third major sports team to support alongside the Jazz and Real Salt Lake.
Look around. Parking lots are full. You got people here wearing jerseys. I think an NHL team would thrive here. I'd love to see it happen.
I was really impressed with the fans that we saw here. There were almost 10,000 fans here at tonight's game. So many hockey jerseys, so many different teams supported here. It really does seem like there's a kind of a ground base for hockey fans here in Salt Lake City.
Ryan Smith recently partnered with Arctos Sports, a sports-focused private equity firm that already has investments in 20 other professional franchises. Both Smith and Utah residents want another professional team. Although nothing is imminent, both Smith and Arctos share the lofty expansion goals. Before we go, Windsor, you got any fun plans for Halloween?
No, I don't actually.
PRS Egyptian Theater in Ogden is hosting a Halloween bash with food and drinks followed by their annual showing of Rocky Horror Picture Show on October 28th through the 30th at 7.
Not bad, Jace, but have you ever wanted to scare your siblings with creepy dolls?
I am an only child, but that does sound fun.
True, but for those that want to, the local artisan collective here in Ogden is putting together an event just for you. On October 14th from 5 to 7 p.m., you can create your own creepy doll at the 6th annual Creepy Doll class. For more ticket information, visit localartisancollective.com. This has been Wildcat News at Weber State. I'm Windsor Moore.
And I'm Jace Campbell.
We'll see you again next week to fill you in on the news made by Wildcats for Wildcats. Good night.